writing an essay. So the first question is, what kind of essay am I asking you to write? Students, I am asking you to write an academic essay. Now, what is an academic essay? An academic essay is the one which you write to convince somebody to a certain point of view, using evidence, arguments, or supporting details. In an academic essay, you usually answer a question. For example, the question could be, is climate change a myth or reality? Your instructor might give you this question: is climate change a myth or a reality? So you write an essay in response to a question of this kind. When you attempt your answer of the question in your essay, basically you need to have a thesis statement. You need to have a thesis statement. What does that mean? That means you need to take one side. Either you say climate change is a myth, or you say climate change is a reality. But take one side. When you take one side on an issue, that means you take a stance. That stance is called the thesis statement. And in addition to the thesis statement, you need to have an argument, or you need to have a number of arguments to support your thesis statement. So if your answer to the question that I just gave you, if your answer is that the climate is reality, then that is your thesis statement. Climate change is a reality. If you state that, that is your thesis statement. But as I said earlier, you need to have arguments to support your thesis statement. So you have a stance, but then you need to produce arguments. The arguments which are based on some evidence, some solid reasons, and some supporting details. But you do not just write the thesis and then give the arguments. Rather, you are supposed to develop the thesis. What does developing the thesis mean? That means that we, in detail, take various sides of that particular thesis and write quite a number of arguments to support that thesis. For example, you need to use relevant examples, you need to use relevant evidence, and you need to use relevant information to support your thesis. So how does the writing process go? You have been given a topic to write your thesis, academic essay on. The first step is, as I said earlier, to have a thesis, or to have a thesis statement, or to have a point of view. Now, for example, if the topic I gave you was the same one, climate change, is climate change a myth or a reality, you took your stance, and your stance was that climate change is a reality. That your stance, but you are supposed to support that stance with the help of the arguments. And as I said in the previous slide, that for your arguments, you need evidence, you need supporting material, You need some information. The question is where that evidence will come from, where those details come from, and where that information will come from. The answer to that question is through research. You do some basic level research about that particular topic. So you might use books, you might use journals, you might use other credible sources to find support and to find evidence in favor of the topic that you have. But remember, when you do research and for the sake of research you read with the purpose. Don't randomly pick on the things and keep reading them. Instead, know why you are reading. For example, you can tell yourself that you are reading to gather information and evidence in favor of this thesis statement that climate change is a reality. If you will keep that purpose in mind constantly, then your reading will become productive. Even if you read just 3 handouts or 3 articles, each article of 10 pages, you will get enough material to write your essay. But keep the purpose of reading in mind. Otherwise, even the readings won't make any sense to you. Also, when you do your research, be selective in what you read. There are quite a number of parameters to be selective. Number 1, choose only authentic material. Do not start reading from any website that comes in front of you. Rather, look for the credible sources of information. So, if the topic is climate change, then look for a website which is being hosted by a scientific organization. Don't go for a website which is being hosted by maybe an undergrad student of a university. If you look carefully, you can tell from the web page what is the quality of the material on it. So any international scientific organization, any organization which is under the umbrella of WHO, or which is under the umbrella of Royal Society of England, or which is under the umbrella of any scientific society of Pakistan, those websites will be more authentic. Or any website which is being hosted by any university in the world, right, will have information which is more credible. Or any major newspaper. Sometimes newspapers have science columns in them. They are also helpful. Okay, so be selective. Only go for the authentic material. In fact, if you go for the authentic material, already you will reduce your burden of reading. You won't get confused. If you just Google climate change, you will find, thousands and thousands of pages, thousands and thousands of responses to just this one search, global warming. But you cannot read all of them. So right from the beginning, be selective what you are going to read. So tell yourself, I'm only looking for those pages or those sources of information which are available on a university website, or which are available on the website of a scientific journal. Okay, so this is the first parameter to be selective. The second parameter to be selective is to understand your level as a reader and writer. Don't be over ambitious. Don't go for highly technical sources which you are unable to read and understand. So this is the second criteria. I'll suggest to you that given the level you are at, you should prefer to use that information which is given in newspapers. Mostly the new information given in major newspapers credible newspapers, that information tries to reach out to uh, an average level reader. They don't put highly scientific information in newspapers because that affects their readership. All right, the newspapers want wider readership. Therefore, they put only that piece of information which is authentic, but at the same time, which is understandable for the majority. So this is my suggestion to you, that you go for either the magazines, which are called periodicals too, or you go for newspapers for the sake of your research. Okay, so if you are selected this way, probably you can count the sources on your finger. You will think, okay, I have the Dawn, I have the Guardian, I have the New York Times. You know, you can just count the newspapers, maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe 8, and I will look information only from within these newspapers. Whatever I find over there related to this topic, I will just read that. So that way, you know, your burden of reading will be substantially reduced. So when you read for the sake of research, keep thinking the question that you have. What question you need to respond? That will help you to make your reading exercise productive for you. So if your question is climate change is a reality or a myth, and you start reading the material that you get hold of from the newspapers or other periodicals, you will realize that all the articles on climate change do not talk about the reality factor or the myth factor about those about this issue. Rather, the articles that you get hold of, they talk about so many other things about the climate change. Therefore, you should keep thinking about the question whose answer you are looking for. You are looking for answer of this question, whether climate change is a myth or a reality. So while you read those articles during the research process, just look at that part which you think is responding to your question. And then finally, keep track of your reading. So if you chose 7 articles to read, you know, don't just read one article on the web page and just close the page and go on to the other article. That way you will totally lose the track of your readings. And after the time investment of 2 hours, you will have nothing in your hands. So therefore, it is important to keep track of your readings as well. There will be more about this on the next slide. One important step, vital step in writing your essay is to take notes while you are reading. Your research is about taking the notes. So if you take notes while you are reading, it will be easier for you to organize your ideas. So while you read those articles, you might find a few facts which support this thesis that climate change is a reality. You can put those facts under this heading, facts about climate change as a reality, and you put all those facts under that heading. You might also come across in those readings some facts which deny that climate change is a myth. So you can separately put those ideas under a separate heading. The heading could be climate change is not a myth, and you can put those factors or those facts under that heading. Now, after you have completed your reading, you know, you already have very clearly organized ideas, and you can just lift up those ideas from the relevant sections and use them for the sake of your writing. But you need to take notes for that. You must recall that we had a note-taking session, the session about reading skills, right in the beginning of the semester. I uploaded the lecture for that over here on YouTube, and I shared the link with you. You can always access that link to understand more about how to take notes. Notes also keep you focused while reading, and then you can keep a record of what you thought while you are reading. So sometimes when you are reading, an additional idea comes to your mind. You notice that this writer has focused only on idea A and B, but then there is a related idea C which is missing over here. You could note that idea in your own journal. Also, if you take notes, that helps you to think critically about what you are reading. And you can also analyze the text if you take notes, which is if you find any deficiency in the reading that you are doing, in the essay that you are reading, or in the paper or web page that you are reading, if you find any weakness in that, the note-taking practice will help you to comment on that too. That comment will be helpful for you later when you write your essay. So you can actually analyze the text, with reference to the Tolman method, if you take notes. And finally, you can engage more effectively with what you read by linking this paper that you are reading with other papers. Okay, now from here then we move on to the next step, which is planning your essay. Okay, but I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we will start from planning your essay to writing your essay in the next class. Students, any questions? So Isa has asked a question, and the question is, will you tell us the topic of essay beforehand? Give us time for writing the essay. Now, this is an exam, right? So there are certain limitations that I want to impose on you when you are attempting the exam. You will have only 24 hours to attempt your answer. Only 24 hours. So you have to do everything within those 24 hours. Okay. So I'll give you a topic and then ask you to return me the essay in 24 hours. Tayyab Javed asks, can we use Google? Sir, yes, you can use Google, but you cannot use Google, sir. I don't know what is that. You can use Google, yes. So the length of the essay, Tayyab, is 2000 words. Okay, I'll give you more instructions about that. But the length of the essay is 2000 words. Rida, I cannot tell you the random topics, but my suggestion to you is, if you can review the newspapers of last 2 to 3 months, that is where I will be looking for a topic, for 3 topics, out of which you will attempt 1. So look at the local and international newspapers of last 3 months. But no, I cannot give you a random idea about the topic. I don't want you to know the facts beforehand, I want you to do the whole exercise during the exam. Okay? So you have to manage time within 24 hours. Any other questions? So, no, Tayyab, it cannot be necessarily political, okay? It can be related to education, it can be related to economy, it can be related to politics, it can be related to the pandemic, it can be related to trade. I don't think newspaper is about politics. Okay, no, newspaper is not about politics only. Politics is just small part of the whole newspaper. All right, so there are so many sides of it. Okay, so no, it's not about necessarily, the topic is not necessarily on politics. Okay, so the exam date is, students, it is 16. It is 16 of February. Okay, I'll assign you the topic on 16th of February, and you will return me the essay on 17th of February. I didn't teach, Rida, I didn't teach anything in the first 20 minutes. I was supposed to take a speech of Huzaifa, your classmate, who is in person. I took his speech in first 20 minutes. I didn't teach anything. But I delivered this lecture. I will upload this lecture and send you all the link of it. Rida, I didn't teach anything, okay? Who is it? Tayyab is asking about the percentage. The essay contains 15% of the whole grade. Okay, you can see it in your outline too. Is there any other question, students? Huzaifa, you have any question? So, all right. So you can listen to the lecture, of course, later on too. I will just upload. And, you know, kind of start preparing your final exam, you know, by having look at some of the major issues which we are coming across in the last 3 months. Okay. But don't try to memorize any essay. That will put you in some trouble. Don't try to memorize anything. Okay. I don't want that, you know. I'm giving you 24 hours so you can very easily review 2 to 3 essays, you know, in 1 to 2 hours, and then write your essay in maybe 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 2 additional hours.